Welcome to the Crimson Circle monthly meeting here for Shout 8 of the Illumination series. We are here on the beautiful island of Hawaii in Kona at the Shambra Pavilion, here, excited to be here with you.
Great to see each and every one of you. Thank you for tuning in. I have a feeling it's going to be kind of a big day. I know Belle, our Villa Amio dog, is kind of agitated this morning. And, I think she feels the energy from everybody that's tuning in and that will tune in. And she's getting some pampering over there on the side right now, somewhere off set. But, she was agitated before and barking and everything else. But hopefully she'll settle down with the energies.
And again, welcome. There are so many of you that have been with us for so long and so many new ones. Welcome. Glad that you could be here with us.
And today's a very special day.
Yes, it is.
May the 4th be with you. May the 4th be with you. Some people don't get it right away, but, Star Wars, may the Force be with you. And then today is May 4th. So we have a little bit of a Star Wars theme going on right here.
Well, and it's the anniversary of Star Wars.
Anniversary coming up on May 19th.
Correct.
I forgot what year anniversary, but it was 1977 when Star Wars came out. And I remember we were, of course, like 1 year old or whatever. But when it came out, it was just epic. I mean, it was beyond anything that had been done. There was Star Trek, which was really, really good. But Star Wars amped it up a couple levels. And I remember going to see the movie, and I was just blown away because my perception back then, it was the light versus the dark. And it actually woke up something within me, that first Star Wars, and then some of the others. I didn't follow all of them. Just the first one was the classic. But may the 4th be with you. I sound like I have a lisp, but...
And what was the date that came out?
May 19th, 1977.
And what year was that?
1977.
And what else happened that day?
Let's see, the movie came out, and we got married that day. We got married in Appleton, Wisconsin on that day. We didn't see the movie that day, but yes, we actually did. So it kind of all ties together. There's
in a very weird way.
Weird synchronicities. Anyway, we also want to welcome all the new ones, as Linda said. Quite a few new ones are coming in. A lot of you have caught the interviews that ADAMUS did with Michael Sandler. Alex Ferrari did another new one the other day with Emilio. It was great. It's coming out in about 30 days. So really enjoyed doing these, and it gives people kind of a taste of ADAMUS. So anyway, we're going to jump right into it. We have a lot to cover today. We're going to start with the Illumination series Part 7, Shout 7, that was done last month.
From here.
Gene always does a recap, so we remember what the heck we did. It seems like a long time ago since we did a Shout. Long time ago. So let's take a look at Shout 7 and go back in time a little bit. It's all about light. Everything. Anything that's happening in your life right now with your body, with your emotions, with your mind, it's all about light. All about light. You see, Heaven's Cross was, about one year ago. There was an opening that allowed for a huge infusion of light onto the planet for those who are ready for it. And you've been bringing that into yourself. So some of you new to Crimson Circle, welcome. Namaste and all the rest of that. Welcome. Aloha, Caldra says. Some of you are quite new. We talk a lot about physics of things, or metaphysics. And we've been talking for years now about consciousness. It's the core of everything. It's actually the only thing. It's the core of everything, and consciousness is simply awareness. Consciousness brings life to life. Without consciousness, nothing would exist. So the next step in that is energy. Energy is the passion of consciousness to express, to feel, to be, to really love itself. It's an expression. It's communication. Everything within your being communicating with everything in your being all the time. So now, after that comes light, and that's what we're here to talk about today and going well into the future. Light. Some people look at light as with a physical eye, in terms of the physics or the science of light. And according to modern physics and science, light is they're photons. Light is either a waveform or a particle. Light is something that brings illumination to darkness, a dark area. Then you have religions, or even the New Age, which is a religion, talking about light. And for them, it's an opposing force to darkness, because there's a lot of darkness out there, and you got to bring a lot of light. And we've had this battle going on for as long as one can possibly remember, long before Earth was even Earth. There was this constant battle between light and dark, of the forces of good and the forces of evil. No side is going to win. Light is not going to defeat the dark, and the dark is not going to defeat the light. Because ultimately, there really isn't light and dark. It's only in the mind of the observer that there's light and dark. What is light? Well, I contend that light is imagination. Whereas you have consciousness is awareness, energy is communication, light is imagination. The moment one imagines, energy is brought forth and transformed into light. And that light ultimately creates what you would call reality. So you say, so if the soul is imagining and the master is imagining, how come I'm not receiving the benefits of it? How come, it seemed that I'm so blocked out from it? Well, partly it's just an old bad habit, and partly because the master and the soul would never inflict that on you. You're there to experience it for yourself in human form, and to understand that it's the same light as the master or the soul, but now it's up to you. What do you want to do with it? Where do you want to go with it? How do you want to bring light into your life? And one of the things that Shambhala does right away, I'm going to bring in light and save the world. They don't want to be saved. You're not the savior. Jesus tried that, and that was a whole different story. You're going to hear from him at the Metaphysics of the Merlin event. But
wow,
it's not up to you to save the world. Back off. They're going through exactly what they're choosing, as you did. Back off. Don't inflict your agenda. And as I told you many years ago, the moment you try to save the world, in other words, change it based on your perceptions, it's going to try to change you. Why do you want more light? It's more of you. It's more of self. It's more of your birthright. It's just being in touch with you. It's not about power. It's not about getting out your lightsaber. It's not about lighting up the world. It's not about even necessarily coming back to your light body. It's just more presence, more of self. Part of self that's been cut off for a long, long time, and now it's coming in. So how do you get that? I'm asking all of you. Good. We have some excellent Shambhala here today. Allowing. Absolutely, you allow it. You don't force it. You don't use your human brain to try to figure out how to get more in from the other realms. You don't pray for it. You don't beg for it. You don't do more suffering. You simply allow it. You take a deep breath, receive the light. That's it. It's about that simple. So it comes a time right now where there's more light on the planet available to you, more light coming in. And it causes some discomfort. And what it's doing, it's creating cracks in all the old systems, starting with yourself, cracks in your body, causing cracks in your mind, in your brain, cracks in your reality perception. You can almost feel it like like you've got these walls within, and they're all starting to crack. Cracks in your emotional stability, cracks in your physical body. As the light comes in, it creates more cracks. Cracks are there so the light can come in. That very same light is coming to your planet. And look what it's doing. It's cracking things. It's cracking a lot of old systems. And it's causing a lot of stress right now. When you introduce new light into an old, rather hostile environment, it creates a lot of stress, and that's what's happening. So now here you have on the planet more imagination, more light, 3% more light than we did a year ago. It doesn't sound like a big number, but it ultimately is. And this light is coming into the planet, and it's made available for people individually, but also on a mass consciousness basis. That light is coming in, and there's a tremendous amount of stress. And then watch how what seems to be the planet headed in a not-so-good direction. I mean, you have wars right now. You've got international power competition like you've never seen before. You've got all this stuff happening, and now as you shine your light, watch how that begins to change things. It's not going to happen overnight that everything suddenly gets all beautiful and happy and peaceful, but it runs the power bastards out of town. And it changes a lot of old systems. It is what was imagined or dreamt of this planet being the true planet of love and of inspiration and of divinity, of realization and ascension. That's why you're here. That was your dream or your imagination. So in a way, you're now bringing in your own light, what you dreamt of or you imagined a long time ago. Not forcing it on the planet, but making it as available as a very real and potent option. It's all about light right now. It's all about light.
It's a pretty beautiful standard he set up there for us all.
Yeah, it was a good shout. Of course, I have to say that. I work for him. We're going to talk real quickly about some of the recent events here at Villa Amio. We've had some amazing, wonderful workshops, starting with Master Circle earlier in the month, and then we just finished exploring the new light. What I want to mention these, I don't have any photos right now, but I want to mention them because they're so beautiful. We get together, it's usually about 30 Shambra, and it's very, very intense, a lot of interaction with ADAMUS, and I love doing them, love being with Shambra.
Well, it's been special because when people come to Hawaii, they're coming there with a real commitment to that experience.
Right.
And you can feel the depth of it. It's quite something. And Adamus feels that focus and clarity that they are showing up with. And he goes so deep and really, really reads their energy. It's been wonderful to observe.
Which also kind of where he comes out with stuff that later will go into the shouds. But
he builds curriculum.
We just want to thank everybody who was part of these last couple of workshops. It was just a wonderful experience.
Three.
Let's take a look now at our upcoming events that we have going on. We got quite a list of them between now and, well, the end of the year.
Right.
Starting with
Metaphysics of the Mind again, May 8th through the 12th. And, we did that Metaphysics of the Mind, and it is just beyond what we ever imagined. You even had some concerns about what it initially would be, and it just went so beyond.
I thought it would be maybe boring talking about the brain and how it works, and which I kind of don't really care about, but it wasn't that at all. It was way beyond.
Way beyond.
So if you feel motivated, you got a couple days to get over here. It starts on Wednesday night.
That's right. Right soon coming up. And we have SES online, and that is going to be June 14th through the 16th.
And that's the Sexual Energy School.
Right.
We're going to be back in Colorado for that, and it's really one of what is, I would say, the core Crimson Circle class. It's based on videos we've done with Tobias and Adamus in the past. Linda and I are there live hosting all weekend, or all 3 days.
Well, Adamus added updates to it too, and again, we have a trailer we're going to show you that gives you a feel into it, but your life will never be the same. And again, we've said that's the only thing we have ever required for our live event audiences, because the impact is so obvious once you've taken that class.
Yeah, and it's online, so you can sit in the comfort of your home. But again, we're all there with you from the studio in Colorado, plus other people from around the world. We usually get people from 35 different countries. It is the essential Crimson Circle workshop because it deals with energy management, how to keep others from feeding off of you, how to keep you from feeding off of them. So it's so core to everything.
Everything.
You have 90 days access to watch the videos after you take the class. It's available right now in a staggering 21 different languages.
Isn't that incredible? That's
the dates
amazing.
again are June 14th through 16th. We're going to take a quick look at SES online, Sexual Energy School. Sexual Energy School is truly one of the core classes for the Crimson Circle. It's very transformational. Linda likes to say that you'll never see life the same again after going through SES. Power is simply seduction, energy stealing. People who don't believe they have power, people who are afraid of power, are also playing right into the power game. It's an illusion. The sexual energy virus, it's everywhere. It will cause you to feel guilty. It will cause you to feel shame, and you won't be able to put your finger on it. It will tell you that you are not worthy. It will cause you to feel that you're a victim and get you to stay in that victim energy. And then your life becomes one of continual victimness, moving from one situation to the other, a victim in a relationship, a victim in love, a victim just in circumstances in the world. You're the one who is always in the wrong place at the wrong time. You're the one whose parade is always being rained on. It loves that victim energy and will keep you in that. One who continues to think as a victim, to blame as a victim, will continue to create as a victim. In other words, more crap, more hardship. You can clear yourself of this virus. You no longer pass it on to your children, to people that you work with, to people that you love, and to people who you are teaching. When one person clears this energy, it changes the future, because the future is the past healed. You're going to find that one of the beautiful, wonderful benefits is more energy every day. Others will find it very difficult to consciously or subconsciously steal your energies. You're going to have an energy flow that goes throughout your entire body that also restores some youthfulness. Your responsibility, a simple one, loving yourself. It is such a simple concept, such an easy thing to do, but yet it's the thing that humans resist most. But I know that there is a group of humans who happen to look just like you, who are going to learn in this lifetime how to release the sexual energy virus, how to love themselves, and how to live a powerless, free life.
So remember, that's June 14th through the 16th. It's live hosted by myself and Jeff. And again, we only do this twice a year, so it's a great time to take advantage of it if it works for you.
And remember, that is online. Online. Okay, after that, coming in the month of July is Kasama. It's about the soul's destiny. It's an incredible description of the soul, but it also talks a lot about letting the suffering going, letting it go out of your life. And a matter of fact, he talks quite a bit about the whole concept of suffering, how needless it is, how it's just so ingrained in consciousness, how we pick it up and live it out, but it's unnecessary. And from there, ADAMUS talks then about the soul. I love that one. This is online as well.
I want to add to that too, because, so often, you hear about, quote, the soul, but you never know anything about the soul.
Right.
And ADAMUS goes into a great depth about helping us to understand our soul and the potentials of our relationship with our soul in a way that I've never heard even remotely discussed anywhere else.
Yeah, so that's online. It's really about the soul's destiny and going beyond suffering. So looking forward to that. I love doing the live hosted classes. We're going to be, of course, Linda and I doing that. We're also going to have a live question and answer. So if you participate, you can send your questions in, and we'll be doing it live rather than pre-recorded. Total of 9 sessions, and there's 15 translations. So that's coming up real soon.
Online, July 12th through the 14th.
Exactly. We're going to take a quick look at it right now. Kasama basically means your soul's destiny. Kasama is in flow with your soul, in harmony with your soul, with a grace. And good Lord, you need grace. You deserve grace right now for the rest of your life here on the planet. Grace. That's when the master allows energy to serve them. That is true grace. What created the soul? Well, it was that compassion of the I am. It's like the beams of light went out from the I am, and those beams then gathered together and created the soul. And the soul then becomes the vessel for the experience and for all the other things of the soul that eventually the I am feels and rejoices in every moment, no matter what. Every moment. The soul is you. It can never be separated from you. It's yours. Nobody can ever take it away. Nobody can harm it unless you like to perceive that they are. The soul is infinite. It is forever. It is always in the now, always. And the now is always, always, always. You see, every time you do something, even if you do nothing, the soul rejoices. And it gives forth the energy for the experience to become real. So that's Kasama coming up pretty soon, end of summer, and it is, again, one of my favorites, and I just love doing the online core classes, so check it out if you get a chance. After that, on August 3rd, it's not going to be just another shout.
Just another shout.
Normally it would just be our August shout, but this year it's very, very, very special. It's our summer party.
You didn't realize that until, neither one of us even thought about that.
No, it's always our summer party. So it's our summer party, and we bring in a lot of good food, and we have a grand time.
Yes.
This year we're going to be doing it up even a little bit more than normal.
Right.
It is also Adamus's or Saint Germain's birthday party. Don't ask him how old he is. Just hate to hear that, but he claims that he was born on in his last lifetime on August 3rd. So he's a Leo.
Yeah, duh.
And
Royal.
the big news is that it is also Crimson Circle's 25th anniversary. Imagine that. I mean, we started in literally on August 21st, 1999, in a little teepee outside of Colorado Springs. There's about 20 people, and that's what we consider our beginnings. It was the first time we had a kind of a real audience. So it's our 25th anniversary. We're putting all these together for one great big event. I mean, we're gonna have a lot of people. We're gonna have a lot of fun. We're putting a huge tent up in the parking lot.
It's going to be a big celebration.
A huge celebration. And just want to mention to everybody, if you're interested in attending live, right now it's sold out. You'll have to go on the wait list. But other than that, it will be webcast, including maybe even the after party, depending how things go. But that's coming up. And the exciting news is it's our 25th anniversary. I mean...
So, and a part of that, we'd like to request that you consider taking a photo of yourself, sending it to photos@crimsoncircle.com. Thank you. And please give us your name, the country that you're from, and the year that you found Crimson Circle. That would be so sweet if you do that. We want to celebrate with Shaumbra.
So what we're doing is we're creating some Faces of Shaumbra videos, which I love. We put music to them, and they're a lot of fun. So Linda just got a note from the production desk saying to make sure to mention it, and also send your photos, as Linda said, to photos at crimsoncircle.com.
Right.
No, don't put the word duh in there. Just photos at crimsoncircle.com, and make sure to include your name, your country, and
the year you found Crimson Circle, please.
Yeah. So we're heavy duty into the process of creating very special things. Probably have like a history video and a couple other things, but it's a big deal.
That's exciting. I never could have imagined it's been 25 years.
I can't either. Yeah. Wow. Okay, after that, in August, we have the Threshold Online. Now, for those of you who don't know, Threshold is an ADAMUS online class, and it's about, well, he says the last thing you do before your realization. It's the encounter with the dragon. It's getting real with yourself, I think is one of the best ways to describe it.
That's a good way to describe it.
It's now open for registration. It is very intense. Very, very intense. Linda and I did it live all around the world, and we've had to been through it 20 or more times, and it's still,
at least,
it still has an effect on me.
It's what's really important about it is that it really, really gets you in a space and invites you to really look deep inside, because, we always move forward. We're always trying to do the right thing, and there's things that we leave behind that are worthy of being looked at and released.
Yeah. So for this Threshold class, it is a prerequisite, one of the very few that you take the Sexual Energy School. We feel it's very important to understand your own energy management before you go to this next level. You'll also notice in the little information about taking the class, if you have been on any SSRI drugs for the past 18 months, we ask you not to take it because for a lot of reasons. But it's an amazing and very deep and very transformational class. We are going to do a live question and answer session with ADAMUS during that. There's a total of 10 sessions,
yes,
I believe.
That's right.
And it's translated into 15 different languages. So that's coming up in August, the Threshold.
Also, then we have fall events back here on the Big Island. And number one is Exploring the New Light. And that, again, is going to be October 13th through the 17th, right here.
Again, we limit the class sizes to about 30 or so, not too many more than that. So everybody's comfortable. We get a lot of personal interaction with ADAMUS. Then after that, in early November, it's the Master Circle. What that is ADAMUS assesses the group energy and bases the discussions on that. It becomes very specific to that group. We don't have a pre-known topic. He does it really in the moment. So
ADAMUS truly feels deeply into the energy, and that's where he goes.
Yep. And then after that, it's once again the Metaphysics of the Mind. That's going to be November 17th through the 21st, right here in Kona. It'll be our third time doing it, and
Right.
it's an amazing class.
I'm excited because it just goes so beyond.
Yeah. Okay, it is time now for Shambra News.
Oh,
We've
boy.
got even Darth Vader is reading the Shambra News. So this is the time where we talk about some of the new products and things that are coming up. And first of all, as I always do, mentioning the Shambra magazine. It's online, it's free of charge, and it's the perfect companion for your journey beyond. A lot of great articles, awesome articles. We have a new format we started earlier in the year, which is going really well. It's also downloadable as a PDF, and it's actually pretty easy to download. I mean,
Very mobile friendly.
yeah, mobile friendly, and it's free of charge. Just you have to sign up for it in the Crimson Circle News area.
You know, it's a really good source for if you want to know what's going on, that's the place to go. It has all the workshop schedules, all the information you could possibly want to know is right there.
Yep. Okay, now we have a great new product that came out earlier this week, and it's been extremely popular. A lot of buzz about it on social media. A lot of people commenting, sending us emails and other things about it. It is called the Dreamwalk to Artheon. We haven't had a Dreamwalk come out in a long time,
it's been a
so
long
I think that's one of the factors. But this one is about taking a Dreamwalk into Artheon. And Artheon, as you may or may not know, it's the full spectrum of gravity. We're used to dealing with the one force or the one side of gravity that holds us all in, as well as holding our thoughts in and our emotions. But with Artheon that Adamus has been talking about, it's about also opening to the expansional qualities of gravity. He calls it full spectrum gravity. So in this new Dreamwalk to Artheon, there's actually two parts to it. Part one is the actual Dreamwalk with Adamus, which is, I think, about an hour or so long. It's really good. And then the second part is a beautiful addition. It's a musical composition, a musical journey put together by Gerhard Funkhauser. Gerhard, and we hadn't worked with him in a little while because of COVID and everything, and we got back together for this beautiful creation. He got together with musicians in Israel and did a superb job on the mixing and the final production. It's such a beautiful journey without words, so you can put it on anywhere, anytime.
And again, when you talk about this Artheon thing, what's so beautiful about it is, you can talk words all along, but with this beautiful experience, this Dreamwalk, you are guided to do this. And it's not an easy thing to do just on your own.
No.
But with the music and the guidance of Adamus, you really, truly are given the biggest opportunity to really get to feel and understand Artheon.
It includes a downloadable video, audio, and text. And I found for myself, it's really best listening with headsets or the earbuds, but that really enhances the experience and kind of tunes out the rest of the world. Although I have been playing Gerhard's song just while I'm working, sitting at my laptop and just kind of ambient sound in the background, and I've really enjoyed it. I think I literally must have listened to it about 20 times now or more.
Well, it's great that it's
Yeah.
downloadable, so you can listen
Yeah.
to it wherever you want.
And it's just $30. I mean,
It's a really
just
good
$30.
deal.
It's a good value. So we're going to play a little bit of it right now. This is Adamus's Dreamwalk into Artheon. Welcome, everybody. Welcome to this Dreamwalk into Artheon. It's a delight for me to be here to guide you on this journey and to begin to open up. What we're really doing is returning to a natural state of being with all the experiences, all the wisdom, all the joy that you brought into it with your earthly experiences. Artheon is the full spectrum gravity. It's gravity that not just holds things into this mass of earth that you have, gravity that you're very, very familiar with. It's the gravity also that expands things and opens it up, and that is natural. The gravity is basically caused by the opening of light coming to life. And in that, it coalesces things. It holds them together. It keeps them intact. And I like the word intact because it's about the interacting of consciousness. Therefore, I say gravity is the interaction of consciousness. Now, the act of consciousness, intact, the act of consciousness, that creates gravity. It's just a force that brings it together, allows you to then experience it. Gravity is actually caused by the expansion of light called into service by consciousness and desire. Consciousness of the I am, the desire of the human. This is what causes gravity. This is your tool. This is something for you to play with and create with. This is the way to come back to your own light body, your own inner innate wisdom. And it's all right here. Take a good deep breath and allow yourself to embody this feeling of true freedom beyond the confines of conventional gravity. Okay, I also want to mention that even before the Dreamwalk into Artheon, back several shows ago, ADAMUS was saying that the best way to get into Artheon, because you really can't think your way in there, but the best way to get into it was through music. And he actually encouraged Shambra from all over the world to send in their musical creations to support Artheon. So we put all those on YouTube. Gosh, there's got to be at least 20 or more, close to 30 of them I'm hearing from above. Oh, that was production desk. Over 30 of them that are their beautiful creations by Shambra. If you go to YouTube, just type in Artheon. It's like Arrow, Theon, and you'll get all of them. But I just remembered that he had originally said to get there, music, right? The right kind of music. So anyway, also coming up big time right now is Keahak XIV.
Very exciting.
And again, it's amazing to think we've been doing Keahak for 14 years.
I know.
Which is about almost, half of the time Crimson Circle's been around. I'll never forget the day that ADAMUS introduced Keahak. We were still back at the Coal Creek Canyon Hall, and I think it was in about March that year. It was snowing out, of course.
Of course.
And ADAMUS, all of a sudden, out of nowhere, pops this thing. He said wants to do a special group called Keahak that would get together twice a month and go into a very deep dive of the materials. We scrambled to get it all organized, to get it together. We launched it that year in, I think, late June or early July, and it's been continuing on ever since. We're now ready to introduce or to launch Keahak XIV.
And Keahak 14, any of the Keahaks, we get to record that. And what's the most exciting about it, and I hear people tell me this all the time, is the fact that this is a one-year program. So you listen to this material, ADAMUS feels into how did this Keahak audience feel into this material, and then he will add to it or expand on it. So it's a journey that goes on all year long. And that's such an advantage. There's nothing else that we do that is quite like that in its depth.
Well, it's very
and journey.
continuous and flowing, and which I love about it also. We do 2 sessions a month, as I mentioned, and then once a month there's a special show called Living in Keahak with Dr. Doug Davies and dear Linda of Isa. So, and it's now available in 11 languages that I could have never imagined.
No, I know.
So if you're participating, you generally get your language translation in a week or so, sometimes a little bit longer, but they're very, very quick. And registration is now open. It closes for registration on June 15th, so keep that in mind. We do have payment plans. So instead of just one lump sum, you can pay it off in a number of months. Well, let's take a look at Keahak. I am that I am. ADAMUS of Saint Germain. Soon we'll be starting Keahak 14. Keahak is one of the things that has brought together the core of Shambhala for new information, for new remembering, for learning how to deal with, to cope with yourself as an embodied master in this human reality at the time of machines. A number of years ago, I said that everything goes new, even though some things don't want to. And as everything goes new on your planet, some of the things are literally coming apart. Some of the old institutions, some of the old ways and traditions are coming apart. What will happen to these parts as they reinvent themselves at this beautiful time of epic change on the planet? In Keahak 14, we'll explore metaphysics, what is really at the core of creation. There's this thing called earth physics and science, but beyond that are the metaphysics of things like consciousness, energy, light, gravity, and all the other elements that form to create this grand illusion of reality. In Keahak 14, we'll talk about how light affects you and the planet. How can you work with it, and at the same time, how does it affect the rest of the planet? We'll talk about why consciousness is the holy grail, and also the topic of great debate on the planet at this time. In Keahak 14, we'll talk about how to live joyfully as an embodied master, while still being here in everyday life with other people and mass consciousness. We'll talk about how your mind and brain can easily adjust to everything that's going on right now. In spite of having a hold on reality for so very long, how now even that brain and mind are going to become much more adaptive and much more resilient, and to serve you rather than being served by you. In Keahak 14, we'll talk about how to use the wisdom of the Master in all of your creations without ever worrying that you're going to misuse it, abuse it, or that it could be taken away. We'll talk about how to fulfill your purpose here at this time of machines, the time of epic change. And we'll talk about how to allow all of this naturally, because ultimately it is natural. It's not up to the human to become realized. It's not up to the human to even have to devise how to live here as a divine being. It's all natural. So please, join me and thousands of conscious humans around the planet as we begin this new year of Keahak. This is why you're here on the planet right now at the time of machines. This is about bringing your light at this time where the planet most needs it. Thank you. Oh yeah, Keahak 14, a new year, a new light, Check it out. The registration is open through June 15th.
Great program. Can't wait.
And, every month we take a product from our vast library and feature it. We call it Spotlight, and we offer a little bit of a discount on it. This month we have one that brought back a lot of memories for me. I think it had actually been in the archive, not available in the store. And we kind of pulled it out, if I'm not mistaken.
The timing was perfect.
Yeah, the timing was perfect, I have to admit. And this one is called Rising to Freedom. Rising to Freedom is based on a message that Tobias delivered back in Tel Aviv, Israel, back in 2009. And he acknowledges the deep connection he had with Shambra and with his homeland in that last lifetime, or many lifetimes. He was from that area of Israel. And he notes that this is the birthplace of so many religions and churches and spirituality around the world. And it's now so marked by anger and frustration and conflict. This is kind of the epicenter of really the transition that's taking place on the planet, because we're going from a very old way to a very new way. And the thing that hits really hardest, I believe, is the religious qualities. And so many religions are based there, have their basis there. When we used to visit there, I was amazed at how many churches were there. I mean, it's not just synagogues and temples and mosques, but all religions all together in Jerusalem. So this is the epicenter, and I think that's why you're seeing so much tension and conflict. And it's a hot spot. In this particular one, the Rising to Freedom, was channeled by Tobias, of course, 2 sessions long. It's now available as a downloadable audio or text. There's no video. We didn't do video back then. And 15% off for the month of May. Let's take a quick listen to what Tobias said way back when, because it still applies now.
Absolutely.
Shambra, I want you to really look at your lives, not a little bit, but a lot. I want you to take a look at the things that are keeping you from freedom. What more is there on earth than to be free and experience life? Particularly as we go into this new energy, the need for experience and the need for freedom are going to be stronger than ever. And I tell you, the greatest gift that you can give yourself right now is freedom. Let us talk for a moment about what is happening in Israel right now. There are more buried energies buried in the ground than any other place in the world, waiting for the end of times to come. Well, what do you think all of these beings buried in the ground are feeling right now? It's the end of times, as you knew it. So all of these beings buried in the ground are starting to rise up right now. And they don't know what to do. They're in a state of confusion. They are looking or feeling all around them. They are asking, where am I supposed to go? And here's what you do. You take a deep breath and you get very focused in your now moment, and you understand who you are. You are there as a standard, as a beacon of light. You don't need to say a word. You don't need to chant anything. You don't even need to point to them where to go. If you stay in your now moment, allow your inner being to radiate that light within, they'll know exactly where to go. Take that deep breath, a breath that opens you up, helps you see the games that perhaps you're still playing, helps you to see this freedom that I've talked about today. Freedom of old identity attachments. Helps you be free in every way.
A lot of beautiful information.
Yeah, and it's just as relevant 15 years later, today as it was back then.
More than ever.
I know. It's like I'm listening to it going, was that just recorded? Because he's talking
timing.
about shining your light long before ADAMUS ever talked about that, and talking about really a time of great transition and change. And it makes total sense that so much is happening there, because
Exactly.
that's where so many of the beliefs, so much of the consciousness of the planet is. So it's really worthwhile as a spotlight. I'm sure glad that we brought it up from the archives.
Perfect timing.
Perfect timing. Next, we're going to talk about the human faces of mastery. We talked about it last month. It's a new video that's out. It's free. It's on YouTube or in the Crimson Circle store. It features interviews with 8 masters from around the world, really talking about their insights into the challenges of a master's life. Others really haven't done this before. We're, as Shaumbra, among the first going through it. And it's really interesting to hear what others are experiencing in their journey, because, first of all, it kind of dispels some of the old notions, but it makes you realize you're not going crazy. You're just going into this experience.
It's easy to wonder and question yourself.
Oh, absolutely. And particularly you have this kind of juxtaposition between your human self and the master or the divinity. And, it seems, which am I? Well, ultimately both. But that's kind of what I really love about
Now
this.
you got to live with it.
Yeah, it's free on YouTube or in the store. Just check it out. And then one other reminder, one of the most wonderful programs of all that has come out lately is ADAMUS's Love 2.0.
Oh, yeah.
He talks about the history of love. He talks about the fact that love was first discovered or created here on the planet, not somewhere else. It was never here until we discovered it. It's a fascinating study into love itself, but then talks about where we're going with Love 2.0 in our lives, which is quite a bit different.
It's amazing. And that love is literally now an angelic sense.
That's right. There's 5 sessions total. We're going to be recording the Q&A in just a few days, literally, and we'll make that available to everyone who has purchased it, or it'll be part of the package if you purchase it after about a week from now. You've got 90 days access to it online, streaming, of course, and it's we have the early bird price of $150 through June 1st. So you've got, not quite a month if you're interested in still getting the discount. And you get it streaming online. You get the audio, the text, and the video. Okay. With that, we're going to be taking a break in just a moment. We want to thank each and every one of you for shining your light. It sounds like it's really easy. Just shine your light. But, sometimes when you're in dark places within yourself or on the planet, it's not always easy to do. You want to retract your light. You want to, bring it inside, hide the light, lock the doors, So we do thank each and every one of you for shining your light on the planet when it's most needed. And of course, before we go on break, we want to thank you. May the 4th be with you. It's the anniversary of Star Wars coming up this month, but it's also kind of a funny play on word. May the 4th, May the 4th be with you. Okay. We're going to be taking a break now and coming back at the bottom of the hour. So good to be here with each and every one of you. Thank you.